हम्म, पहली स्लाइड पे आ जाएं। हम्म, Good morning, everybody in Canada, United States, and Latin America. All our brothers and sisters, those are right over there. We are pretty sure you must be taking care of your health, your wellness. You must be going for your morning jog, morning walk. You must be holding a cup of coffee or cup of tea. Please take care of yourself. Take care of all those are directly, indirectly associated with you, your friends, your neighbors, your community, your civilization, whosoever is there. And this particular, yet another powerful evening as far as India is concerned, and a wonderful morning as far as Canada, USA, and Latin America is concerned. The global confluence of educators, motivators with the best practices in education, innovation, and research for empowering the entire education system and developing the youth competencies world over. Ladies and gentlemen, during this lockdown, we all are at home. Children are with their parents, schools, colleges, universities, institutions, polytechnic, ITIs, everything is closed world over. Well, at this point of time, you have got a plenty of time to think over how basically to make education relevant for the future, which it was deserving for quite some time, because after the industrial era, almost about 200 years back, we were following the traditional pedagogy and we were going ahead with a traditional way of learning and teaching system. This evening, we have got yet another wonderful, esteemed, distinguished guest. Three ladies will be addressing you this evening. They are warriors and they are celebrities their own way, like the doctors, nurses, paramedical. They all are serving in white clothes the entire universe as warriors. Our teachers, our educators, and entire ecosystem of the education, they are also empowering the youth wherever they are. They are trying to reach them in the cities, in the metros, in the urban, rural, semi-urban, far-flung areas, wherever they are. Every teacher is trying, every school, every institution is trying their level best how to reach out those children. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we are going to share thought process. We are going to have a lot of deliberations and inputs, 8 to 10 minutes for each speaker. We are going to start the evening this evening with Madam Amrita Burman. She is a Deputy Director, Sunbeam Group of Educational Institutions. We have also been joined by Dr. Sheetal Sharma. She is Center for the European Studies, Jawaharlal Nehru University, and Dr. Nancy Juneja, the founder, REVUP, and that is co-founder, Mentor X. So all the three ladies, we will share a couple of slides with you because every day we get a lot of new people those come for this particular program world over. So moving from Canada, USA, and Latin America to Europe, I'm pretty sure that you all must have taken your lunch. And after lunch, before you go for your tea and your coffee in the evening, give us about an hour or so. Let's share some thought processes, what's going on in the world, what all is available in Europe, and while taking care of your health, because your health is very important to us. So ladies and gentlemen, we pass from the Europe and we move to Central Asia. All our brothers and sisters, those are in Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Afghanistan. We extend you a very warm welcome because you all join us every evening. And all my brothers and sisters, Indians and the natives of the entire Middle East, Salam alaikum. And we extend you a very hearty welcome. Namaskar to everybody. And whosoever has joined this evening, let's make this evening yet very meaningful, another evening where we are going to talk about making education relevant, global confluence of educators. So ladies and gentlemen, our chamber, ICSI, International Chamber for Service Industry, which is a confluence and which is a link between India and 30 million non-resident Indians, those who have gone abroad, government, corporate, and non-resident Indian interface when we talk about, and we are talking about making education relevant. Every Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, we talk about education empowerment. And Saturday, we talk about yoga, meditation, naturopathy, nutrition, organic, your wellness, your fitness, and whatever you should eat is good for your body. And of course, it's not your body alone. Your mental fitness is also very, very important for us. Remain fit, robust, and energetic all the time. Saturday evening will bring you another powerful evening with Ayurveda, that is for the global wellness. So, ladies and gentlemen, during the lockdown, the thought process are affected. Business, they are affected. Physical and mental health is affected. Main part of the universe, that means education, which is the motherboard of the entire universe, that is also deeply affected world over. And as per the UNESCO statistics and others, what we are getting, approximately 1.6 billion children and the youth, roughly half of the world's student population, they are at present away from school, colleges, and universities, and we got to be taking care of them. And that's why we bring this global confluence. So I moved from Canada to USA, USA to Latin America, Latin America to Europe, Europe. From there, I came to Central Asia, Central Asia to Middle East, and Middle East to India. Namaskar, all my brothers and sisters. सभी भारत जनों को बहुत बहुत नमस्कार. आज की शाम को सबको सादर प्रणाम है, क्योंकि हमारी फिलॉसफी, हमारी संस्कृति, हमारी हेरिटेज, हमारी सिविलाइजेशन, हमारी सभ्यता ये बताती है. इन दिनों में जब मैंने नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी के बारे में जितना कुछ पढ़ा कि विश्व की पहली रेजिडेंशियल यूनिवर्सिटी जहां पर 10,000 छात्र पढ़ते थे पूरे वर्ल्ड से और 2,000 आचार्य थे, और जब उस सब चीज की बातचीत करते हैं तो हमारी जो फिलॉसफी है, संस्कृति है, दैट इज वसुधैव कुटुंबकम. So ladies and gentlemen, from India, we also take you to the northeast part of India, that is the 8 beautiful states where our chamber had been focusing for the last 6 years under Act East policy. And from there, I take you to the neighboring countries, 10 of them in Southeast Asia, that is the ASEAN region, right from Myanmar to Cambodia to Laos to Singapore to Malaysia to Thailand to Indonesia to Philippines to Brunei, all the countries. And of course, we are thankful to every evening Mrs. Geeta Chopra and her husband Rajneesh. They join us from Bahrain every evening, along with another 250, 260 people. Those join us from Bahrain. Hearty welcome to all of you. Vasudev Kutumbakam. Let's see, everybody should be fine and everybody should be health-wise okay world over. When we talk about purpose of education, why school, why colleges, why skills, why competencies, why to take a particular education? There's a Western school of thought, economic purpose. That means when we talk about education, that means you have to get some job, you have to work, you have to take some kind of an employment, or you got to be entrepreneur, you got to have startup, you got to stand up, whatever you want to do. Economic is the first purpose. Thereafter comes social norms, thereafter comes your culture. And then of course, children, when they take a particular subject, art, commerce, science, medical, non-medical, whatever they take, so that comes personal. So remember, economic is the first part which we take into this particular process. But when we talk about Indian perspective, culture is the first priority we have to take care of. And that's why there is a particular roots. This civilization has got a long historical perspectives when we talk about. Our heritage is so strong and so deep rooted when we talk about. Our culture takes priority, social norms take priority, and then we think about that, yes, economic part is also there, and personal, of course, we got to respect every child. Why do they take? During this lockdown, world over, everybody is trying their level best by different modes and means and mediums, whatever is available, TV channels, community radio, mobile phones, electronic gadgets, whatever is feasible, possible, and we try and reach out. Everybody is trying to reach out the youth wherever they are so that the education can be imparted. That is done by the government, that is done by the Ministry of HRD and respective governments world over. Ladies and gentlemen, in a very humble way, our chamber, International Chamber for Service Industry, we are also giving our bit. Every day we have got a beaming, which is from India. World over, we are trying to help. And basically, to bring the positivity, positive thoughts, no anxiety, no stress, no depression, remain positive, talk positive, walk positive, think positive, eat well, no junk food, please. You got to be taking care of your health and wellness. That's very important. So there are different therapies, what we are talking about, and the life management skill. Any institution, any educators, any setup world over, if you're looking forward to any kind of a beaming, we are always there to support you complimentary basis during this lockdown, to help you out, to empower the education ecosystem in your city, in your district, in your province, in your country, wherever you want. We are trying to reach out everywhere. Now, at the same time, what is the purpose of education when you see in a broad sense, whether education for life or education for living? It's a deep rooted meaning you have to understand. Are we having education because there's a purpose? I want to live a life in a particular way, or I just want to earn my living? That is something very important. At present, children, when they are with their parents at their respective residences, we would humbly request, whatever struggle, whatever efforts, whatever inputs, the teachers, educators, principals, counselors, and the entire fraternity of the education system had been giving earlier. Parents, now it's your time. Children of different age group, they are with you at home. Please devote quality time with them. Don't get irritated with them. Don't lose your cool on them. Tolerate, try and understand. Children have got so much of creativity. Try and take out that creativity. Don't snub them. Don't snub any child. You do not know which idea is so meaningful, so relevant. And ultimately, we are talking about how to make education relevant. Thereby, listen to them, talk to them. I sit with my mother, I sit with my wife, I sit with my children, I sit with my grandchildren, I sit with all of them. And we talk to each other and we understand, of course, while maintaining social distancing, physical distancing, whatever has to be maintained, that part has to be taken care of. So parents, take out the creativity of your children during this lockdown. It's a wonderful time and you can make optimum use of it. Now, I always look at it. What is the role of a teacher? Is it only teaching? Or is it that of a facilitator? Or is that a motivational talk? That every teacher has to bring that positivity. The child who has come from home, we do not know under what circumstances child left home in the morning and why child is late, why child is not coming in time. And that's what you must have experienced. Role of a teacher, it's a very noble profession. You're privileged, you're blessed. Almighty has blessed you if you are a teacher. Start thinking that यदि आप पढ़ाने के, शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में हैं, विद्यादान के क्षेत्र में हैं, तो आप बहुत ही सौभाग्यशाली हैं. That is the way you got to think. Because teacher is a stage management, it's a vocal management, it's a communication management, it's a content management. You got to be passionate towards your subject. You got to be creative all the time in your teaching. You got to have a presence of mind. किस बच्चे को क्या चीज समझ आ रही है, क्या समझ नहीं आ रही. You got to carry empathy, not sympathy. And then, of course, teachers, your celebrity, your own way. I always respect and salute as a soldier all the teachers wherever they are world over. You are warriors. Like doctors are performing, nurses are performing, paramedical people are performing their duties. You are also warriors your own way. You're doing a wonderful job. But finally, when we talk about education, when we talk about making education relevant, have we understood what does youth want? What are their expectations? What is their thought process? What today's youth millennials, जो gadgets के साथ पैदा हुए हैं, जिनके हाथ में gadgets हैं, उनका thought process बिल्कुल different है. हमको education को learning centric बनाना होगा. इसकी बातचीत आज करेंगे. और बचपन में ही if you stuff too much of things, अगर ये ट्राइंगल को उल्टा कर दें या ट्राइंगल को सीधा कर दें, उल्टा कर देंगे तो एजुकेटर और पेरेंट्स ऊपर हो गए, यूथ नीचे हो गया. व्हाट्स लॉस्ट व्हेन यू रश द किड थ्रू देयर चाइल्डहुड. आप उनका बचपन ही छीन लेते हैं. लेकिन अगर आप यूथ को समझने की कोशिश करते हैं तो ट्राई एंड अंडरस्टैंड इन एजुकेशन फ्रेटर्निटी. पेरेंट्स, आपको भी समझना पड़ेगा. एजुकेशन के अंदर जो जुड़े हुए हैं उनको भी समझना पड़ेगा. यूथ को समझना पड़ेगा. मैं तो यूथ के साथ हूं, मैं यूथ के साथ हूं हमेशा. क्योंकि मेरे अंदर एक बच्चा है जिस बच्चे को मैं समझना चाहता हूं, जानना चाहता हूं। आज 70 ईयर की एज में अंदर मेरी एनर्जी एक 20-year-old बॉय की है, बिकॉज मैं जानना चाहता हूं मैं कौन हूं। मुझे आज तक सीखने का इतना शौक है। I want to learn from each one of you, those join our program each day. I am a student for everybody. Okay. How to make teaching career more attractive? लोग एजुकेशन में क्यों नहीं आना चाहते? ऐसा तो नहीं है, बहुत सारे सर्वे किए गए, अगर कोई भी जॉब नहीं मिल रहा तो चलो टीचिंग का ही जॉब कर लेते हैं, कम से कम टाइम लगेगा। डू टीचिंग प्रोफेशन डिजर्व अ रीपोजिशनिंग? इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। Teaching profession is the mother of all professions. It's a very noble profession. It demands a lot. How to allow the teachers to devote more time to youth development rather than doing the administrative work in the school, colleges, institution. इतना एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव वर्क वो लगे रहेंगे तो कैसे काम बनेगा? और उसके ऊपर काउंसलिंग का भी काम। किसी भी टीचर को पकड़ा, उसको बोला भाई तुम ये काम कर दो, एक काउंसलिंग का काम भी कर दो। पेरेंट्स आज मिलने आ रहे हैं, पेरेंट टीचर मीटिंग है, आप बैठ जाओ इसके अंदर, चाहे आप मैथ्स पढ़ा रहे हैं, फिजिक्स पढ़ा रहे हैं, केमिस्ट्री पढ़ा रहे हैं, आर्ट्स पढ़ा रहे हैं, हिस्ट्री पढ़ा रहे हैं, ज्योग्राफी पढ़ा रहे हैं, आप काउंसलर भी बन जाइए। नाउ दैट्स नॉट द वे इट्स गोइंग टू बी। How to take out the creativity of every child? Ladies and gentlemen, nobody has come on this planet who doesn't have the qualities. Everybody has got a quality. We got to take out the creativity of every child. That's very important. How to make education more collaborative instead of competitive? दिमाग में भर दिया बच्चों के। हर माँ बाप ये चाहता है मेरे बच्चे के 99% मार्क्स आए। अरे 99% मार्क्स लेके कौन सा किला फतेह कर लोगे? क्या जीत जाओगे? पहले अपने आप को तो जान जाइए। ठूसिएंगे नहीं। हमको सब्जेक्ट को फोर्स नहीं करना है। बच्चों की एंजॉयमेंट, लर्निंग, हाउ टू मेक एजुकेशन मोर अम्यूजिंग, how to make education more fun, stimulating, rewarding, interesting, innovative, creative. That is the way we got to be thinking all the time. Music therapy, something very, very interesting. After my PhD, I'm devoting maximum time on music therapy. I want to understand वो कौन सा राग दीपक था जब तानसेन गाते थे तो दिए जल जाते थे। ऐसी कौन सी चीज है कि अमिताभ बच्चन जी जहां से निकल जाएं वहां का टेम्परेचर ही चेंज हो जाता है। किसी की डायलॉग डिलीवरी इतनी अच्छी होती है, किसी की कम्युनिकेशन स्किल इतनी अच्छी होती है कि आप इतने प्रभावित हो जाते हैं कि आपको लगने लगता है कि मुझे ऐसा ही बनना है। किसी किसी टीचर की क्लास बहुत अच्छी लगती है और किसी किसी टीचर की क्लास बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं लगती। किसी की क्लास अच्छी क्यों लगती है और किसी की क्लास अच्छी क्यों नहीं लगती? म्यूजिक थेरेपी, स्टार्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग। मैं इसके ऊपर बहुत स्टडी कर रहा हूं आजकल। इतनी ज्यादा इनोवेशन, इतनी ज्यादा क्रिएटिविटी, इतनी ज्यादा रिसर्च। जो टीचर म्यूजिक थेरेपी का काम, और चाहे आपको गाना आता है चाहे नहीं आता है, आप बच्चों की क्रिएटिविटी को बाहर निकालिए, गुनगुनवाइए उनको। और वो म्यूजिक के अंदर कोई इंस्ट्रूमेंट बजाते हैं, गाते हैं, गुनगुनाते हैं, बेसुरा भी गाते हैं तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं, कुछ भी बेसुरा नहीं है। कुछ दिनों के बाद वो भी कानों को अच्छा लगने लगेगा। Nobody was born great, you become great when you apply your energy and you're passionate towards one particular area, one particular subject. Music therapy should be the integral part of education system. That's what is we are bringing out in our research and survey. And down below we have written, meet your happy chemicals of your brain, what all it brings. Ladies and gentlemen, हमेशा बच्चों को सुपरवाइज नहीं करना है, बच्चों को छोड़ना भी है किसी वक्त, उन्हें अकेले भी रहने देना है, उन्हें कुछ सोचने का मौका भी देना है। पेरेंट्स टोटली ऑल द टाइम इफ यू आर सप्रेसिंग एंड इम्पोज कर रहे हैं कि तुम्हें इंजीनियर ही बनना है, डॉक्टर ही बनना है, लॉयर ही बनना है, यही बनना है, नहीं। 3 इडियट मूवी को याद कीजिए, बच्चे की क्रिएटिविटी क्या थी। डॉक्टर सुगाता मित्रा IIT प्रोडक्ट दिल्ली से हैं। इनका पूरा अगर आप स्टडी देखें, उसके बाद ये MIT गए, उसके बाद अभी यूके के अंदर, एंड ही हैज डन ए ब्यूटीफुल एक्सपेरिमेंट इन हिज होम टाउन। इन्होंने एक दीवार के अंदर 2 कंप्यूटर लगा दिए, कोई टीचर नहीं, ऊपर एक कैमरा फिट कर दिया और उस कैमरे के अंदर 1 महीने तक रिकॉर्ड करते रहे। 1 महीने के बाद इट वाज अ माइंड ब्लोइंग फिनोमिनल, एंड दैट्स व्हाट सर केन रॉबिन्सन आल्सो सेज, that do schools kill creativity? It is very important. All of us, we have to understand. We got to leave the kids, let them teach themselves. Evolution of learning environment is very important. Ladies and gentlemen, we started our humble journey on 5th of June and we are carrying out till 15th of August 2020 भारत के स्वतंत्रता दिवस तक मेकिंग एजुकेशन रेलेवेंट की ये सीरीज चल रही है. हजारों लोग रोज नए जुड़ रहे हैं पूरे वर्ल्ड से. Sometime I talk in Hindi, sometime I talk in English, because my fellow brothers and sisters, wherever you are, like music has no language, similar way you got to understand my passion, my feelings, and what is coming from inside. It is not a communication, it is connecting with each other, connecting soul to soul, connecting mind to mind, connecting heart to heart. And that's what I want to discuss with all of you. Our pledge is that by 15th of August 2020, when Bharat ka Swatantrata Divas hoga, we will have 1 million educators from the whole world as a part of this global fraternity making education relevant. और मेरे कुछ मित्रों ने, मेरे कुछ ब्रदर्स एंड सिस्टर्स ने मिडिल ईस्ट से मुझे बहुत एनकरेज किया. उन्होंने कहा हम आपको 2 मिलियन तक लेके चलेंगे, आप 1 मिलियन की बातचीत कर रहे हैं. I'm so grateful to all of them. My salutation to all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, we started this humble steps, baby steps on 5th of June. That's on a World Environment Day. क्योंकि वर्ल्ड की नेक्स्ट क्राइसिस जो आने वाली है वो वाटर क्राइसिस आने वाली है. पीने के पानी की समस्या होगी, बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम होगी. वाटर कंजर्वेशन को अभी से प्लान करना होगा. बच्चे आजकल घर पर हैं, माँ बाप के साथ हैं. वाटर कंजर्वेशन का पूरा सोचिए. उसके बाद स्कूल कॉलेजेस इंस्टीट्यूशन जब खुलेंगे तो वहां का सोचेंगे. और उसके बाद जो बाकी चीजें, हाउ एजुकेशन कैन मेक अस मोर नेचर एंड एनवायरमेंट फ्रेंडली, दैट इज समथिंग वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. देखिए, नेचर ने हम सबको लॉक कर दिया. इस समय जानवर जो है वो बाहर सड़कों पर घूम रहे हैं और लोग घरों के अंदर बंद हैं. बिकॉज नेचर कैन ऑलवेज ब्रिंग ए बैलेंस. इट विल ब्रिंग ए बैलेंस इफ वी डू नॉट रेस्पेक्ट द नेचर. लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, हर टीचर को सोचना होगा, हर बच्चे को सोचना होगा. बिकॉज आई एम अ मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर, दैट्स व्हाई आई टेल ईच वन ऑफ यू, ऑल पावर इज विद इन यू. You can do anything on this planet. Start feeling that, start thinking that. अपने दिमाग का पॉजिटिव डोपामिन शुरू कीजिए और ये सोच लीजिए कि मेरे अंदर वो शक्ति है, मेरे अंदर वो पावर है. मैं कहीं पर भी हूँ, गांव में हूँ, शहर में हूँ, कहीं पर भी हूँ, इंटीरियर्स में हूँ, मेरे पास पूरी सुविधाएं हैं कि नहीं है, मेरे पास मोबाइल की कनेक्टिविटी ठीक से आ रही है कि नहीं आ रही है, मेरे पास टेलीविजन के चैनल पर एजुकेशन की फ्रेटर्निटी पूरी चीज इको सिस्टम के लेके आ रही कि नहीं आ रही है. लेकिन कोशिश कीजिए, प्रयास कीजिए, प्रयत्न कीजिए. अब कहीं ना कहीं से जब आपके अंदर से वो जिज्ञासा होगी, जब आपके अंदर से वो जागेगा, तो आप कहीं ना कहीं से कोई ऐसा साधन, कोई ऐसा प्रयत्न, कोई ऐसा प्रयास करेंगे कि आपको वो चीज मिल जाएगी जो आप चाहते हैं. ऑल पावर इज विद इन यू. स्टार्ट बिलीविंग दिस इवनिंग. आप कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. मैं किसी दिन बातचीत करूंगा मोटिवेशन में, आपकी बॉडी में क्या चक्र होते हैं, कैसे होते हैं, उन सब की बातचीत करेंगे. नाउ लॉर्ड बुद्धा की बातचीत करते हैं. मंडे टू फ्राइडे 7 से 8 बजे तक हम आपके साथ एजुकेशन एम्पावरमेंट की बात करते हैं इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड टाइम में. बट वी ब्रिंग टू यू एवरी सैटरडे मॉर्निंग. आई एम सो ग्रेटफुल टू यू, इंटरनेशनल बुद्धिस्ट कॉन्फेडरेशन सेक्रेटरी जनरल वेनरेबल डॉक्टर धमापिया जी, who had been very kind. Last week, last Saturday, we had a lady from Canada, we had another lady from Sri Lanka, and we had one of the Bhante monk who is heading in Thailand. And coming Saturday, we are going to have people from France, we are going to have from Australia, we are going to have from Yangon in Myanmar, and there's going to be a global confluence. There are 500 million plus followers of Buddhism. We just had 85th birthday of His Holiness Dalai Lama. So Buddhism, philosophy, the relevance of Buddha's teaching in today's education, because a lot of new pedagogies and andragogies are coming. So every Saturday, 11th of July ko dekhega, 9:30 to 11, all of us will meet together and we will have the relevance of Buddha's teaching in today's education. Every Saturday evening, 7 to 8 p.m., same time when we are here together today, Saturday evening, 7 to 8 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, 11th of July, you will have Ayurveda for global wellness. We want to see you healthy. We want to see you happy. We want to see you energetic. We want to see you bubbling with the energy. अरे कोरोना आएगा, बहुत सारी चीजें आएंगी, सब कुछ आएंगे, सब कुछ चला जाएगा. अगर आप पॉजिटिव रहेंगे, हेल्दी रहेंगे, हैप्पी रहेंगे, ह्यूमर रहेगा, हॉलिस्टिक लिविंग रहेगी, हॉलिस्टिक थिंकिंग रहेगी, एजुकेशन सिस्टम भी एम्पावर होगा और सब कुछ अच्छा होगा. एवरी संडे मॉर्निंग, कौन कहता है कि संडे को छुट्टी होनी चाहिए? मैं बहुत बार इस बात पे हंसता हूं. When people tell me, English people, when they came over here, my respect to everybody in the Europe, and when they came to India, they made beautiful schools in the hill stations and all. अरे भाई, उनको गर्मी लगती थी इसलिए वो पहाड़ों पे गए और हिल स्टेशन पे बना दिया. किसने कहा कि सैटरडे संडे को छुट्टी होनी चाहिए? क्यों होनी चाहिए? क्या सैटरडे को आप ब्रेकफास्ट नहीं करते, लंच नहीं करते, टॉयलेट नहीं जाते, नहीं नहाते, खाना नहीं खाते, नहीं सोचते, ब्रीदिंग नहीं करते? क्या आप 2 सेकंड के लिए संडे को ये बोलें कि आज तो अवकाश है, टुडे इज अ हॉलिडे, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू ब्रीथ टुडे? डू यू डू दैट? Sunday is more productive. I do more work on Sunday because Monday to Saturday I work with the Globe, and Sunday morning आप देखिए ग्लोबल में, हार्वर्ड में, स्टैमफोर्ड में, वॉटन में, पेपरडाइन यूनिवर्सिटी में, पर्ड्यू यूनिवर्सिटी में, वुडबरी यूनिवर्सिटी में, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट सिराकुस यूनिवर्सिटी में, you world over, wherever the management education is being taught today, ladies and gentlemen, the Srimad Bhagavad Gita examples, it's a key source to today's education, particularly teaching management, ethics, values, tactics, strategies, whatsoever has to be given, and including the noble ethical leadership. So we get every Sunday morning Professor Satendra Dhiman from Woodbury University, California, Burbank, USA, who shares. We have already done 6 chapters of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. This weekend, you're going to have 7th, 8th, and 9th chapter in the journey. And ladies and gentlemen, Sunday evening, we take you to beautiful those 10 countries, and we take you to all my friends, the Buddhist friends, and of course others. And we are trying to bring a lot of leverages between ASEAN countries and our northeast part of India. Together, we are working out under the dynamic leadership of Shri Datu Ramesh Kodamalji. He's the co-chairman of the ASEAN India Business Council. Lot is being discussed on that, and education is the focus. How joint research, joint innovation, faculty exchange, student exchange, cultural exchange, and other things. Our president of the International Chamber for Service Industry is also located in Thailand. So he also comes and joins every Sunday evening at 5 p.m. with us. Ladies and gentlemen, 15th of July, just few days ahead. Today you have got 8, and exactly after 1 week, on 15th of July, we are going to celebrate world over World Youth Skills Day. And we are starting a new series. Every day you will have a motivational talk. मैं हर बच्चे को, हर टीचर को, हर काउंसलर को, हर एजुकेटर को इतना ज्यादा एम्पावर करना चाहता हूं. मेरे अंदर की दिली तमन्ना है, एट दिस एज, दैट रेस्ट ऑफ माय लाइफ आई शुड डेडिकेट हाउ टू मेक एजुकेशन रेलेवेंट. और मेरा फोकस रहेगा यूथ, यूथ, युवा पीढ़ी, बिकॉज एजुकेशन हैज टू बी लर्निंग सेंट्रिक. सो यूथ एम्पावरमेंट स्ट्रेटजीज, we are starting YES program, and that is going to be from 15th of July to 15th of August. Every day you will have 7 to 8 p.m. motivational talk in the evening. You will have 2 motivational speakers coming, and 1 theme would be taken every day. 30 different subjects of the education are going to be covered, which are going to be relevant for futurology and future education. Last 2.5 months, our chamber world over, all my presidents, all my advisors, research scholars in about 150 countries world over. And this is the amalgamation of the entire research what we have got for our chamber, International Chamber for Service Industry, which we wish to share with all of you. And ICSI global team research that is giving the holistic living ecosystem. And that is B2B, back to basics. It is no more going to be business to business. It's going to be back to basics. सबसे पहले अपने आत्मनिर्भरता. That's what the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji conveyed the other day. It's very important for all of us. आत्मनिर्भरता कहां से आएगी? आपके पास बेसिक जीवन का जो भोजन है जीने का, उसके लिए प्रतिज्ञा कीजिए, अपने आप से प्रयास कीजिए, अपने घर के किचन गार्डन में, अपने घर के बाहर के आंगन में, अपनी छत पर, जहां पर भी कोई कोना मिलता है वहां पर ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग कीजिए, प्लांटेशन कीजिए, आप सब्जियां उगाइए, और वो सब्जियां पर्याप्त होनी चाहिए कि जिससे आपकी फैमिली का कम से कम 15 दिन, 1 महीना काम चल सके। दैट इज द वे, द बेसिक फूड एंड एनिमल हस्बेंड्री, यदि आप पशुपालन करते हैं तो उसका भी एक बहुत अहम और इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है। सो बेसिक फूड, और वहां से आप आ जाइए हेल्थ और वेलनेस। आने वाले वक्त में यू विल हैव मैक्सिमम जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज इन हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस सेक्टर, एंड हैप्पीनेस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि जब लॉकडाउन से लोग बाहर आएंगे, there will be a lot of psychological problem, psychiatric problem. At present itself, there are a lot of fights at home. I would request all my brothers and sisters world over, all my children world over, please do not fight with anybody. We need peace, global peace, and that would start from your home. क्योंकि बच्चा पहले 5-6 साल में जो कुछ ऑब्जर्व करता है अपने पेरेंट्स से, एंड दैट्स व्हाई दे ऑलवेज से जो मदर है उसकी जगह कोई नहीं ले सकता, कोई नहीं ले सकता, बिकॉज मदर प्लेज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस। इसलिए हम सबको जैसे मातृभूमि को प्रणाम करना है, हर माँ को भी प्रणाम करना है, क्योंकि बच्चे का जो पालन पोषण पहले 5-6 साल में होता है, बच्चे के जो फॉर्मेटिव ईयर्स होते हैं, हर माँ को उतनी ही इज्जत मिलनी चाहिए, और इतनी इज्जत मिलनी चाहिए कि जितनी हम लोग सोच नहीं सकते, क्योंकि वो 5-6 साल में बच्चा जो कुछ सीखता है वही वो स्कूल में लेके आता है, और वही वो डिस्प्ले करता है, वही कल्चर, वही संस्कृति, वही हेरिटेज, वही वैल्यूज, वही एथिक्स, वही सोशल नॉर्म्स, वो सब चीजें वहां पर आती हैं। सो देयर बाई फिजिकल एंड मेंटल फिटनेस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। एंड थर्ड पार्ट, ladies and gentlemen, those of us, those are in education system, let me share with all of you, the global system will never get back in education to what it used to be in month of January and February. Forget about it. टेक्नोलॉजी को आपको अडॉप्ट करना पड़ेगा। देयर इज गोइंग टू बी अ ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग। प्रपोर्शन क्या रहेगा, रेशो क्या रहेगी, nobody knows about it. How long the COVID will go on, I hope and we pray to Almighty it doesn't come back again. A lot of predictions are coming up, a lot of things are coming up. Nobody knows. हर आदमी अटकलें लगा रहा है अपने हिसाब से और अपनी predictions दे रहा है। Thereby, ladies and gentlemen, आपको अपनी सुरक्षा खुद करनी होगी, आपको अपना ध्यान खुद रखना होगा। सो एजुकेशन की जब हम बातचीत करेंगे, सो डिजिटल लर्निंग एंड ई लर्निंग is going to be very important in future, and it is going to be learning and earning. क्योंकि बाहर जो बच्चे पहले जाते थे पढ़ने के लिए, you got to understand from this point of view, अगर डिजिटल एजुकेशन है तो भाई बाहर का भी पता लग जाए कि वो क्या पढ़ा रहे हैं, किस तरीके से पढ़ा रहे हैं, कितना पढ़ा रहे हैं, वो सब कुछ, everything is going to be transparent in coming times, because whatever was the hidden agenda, the weak links are going to be exposed, and the world is going to be having a sustainable development. That part is very important. We have to understand. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last slide. Before I bring the three celebrities of this evening to you, I wish to share with all of you whatever human mind can conceive and believe. Each one of us world over, wherever you are. Napoleon Hill book, I have taken one quote. इस किताब को मैंने कई बार पढ़ा, और जितनी बार पढ़ा एक कोट मुझे मिलता है जो बार बार haunting my mind and tells me whatever human mind can conceive and believe can achieve. एक बार अपने दिमाग में आप सोच लीजिए कि मुझे ये अचीव करना है, दुनिया की कोई ताकत आपको रोक नहीं सकती. You will get that. So ladies and gentlemen, let's come together for global education empowerment. If you empower the education system, that is the motherboard of entire civilization, global peace, global harmony, global brotherhood, global peaceful living of everybody world over. If we need peace, we got to educate and empower and give the competencies to every child wherever they are. Ladies and gentlemen, you can send us your views, your suggestions. Should you wish to be a panelist with us, you can come, you can send your suggestions, you can send your CV at innovation@icsi.asia. You can also send a WhatsApp on these two numbers which are given. From world over, we are getting a lot of requests. and you will have lot of unveiling being done by us in the coming days. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, as I told you, the doctors are warriors, doctors are celebrities, nurses are warriors and celebrities, paramedical people are similar way, our education fraternity, they are also great warriors. This evening, like an anchor for the Filmfare Awards, let me extend a very warm welcome to three of my warriors and three of my celebrities. Those are joining us this evening, and they are going to grace and they are going to share their thought process with us. We extend a very hearty welcome to all the three ladies. And first one I'm going to introduce is Madam Amrita Burman. She's a Deputy Director, Sunbeam Group of Educational Institution, a passionate educator who believes that it is the only through education that India's destiny can change. Why India? The global destiny can change. Mrs. Amrita Burman, she has been associated with Sunbeam for well over 25 years now. She has also been certified by Howard University with a certificate in advanced educational leadership. She is also one of the prominent authors, educators whose thought feature on a special compilation on joy and power of reading brought out by Scholastic called Why I Love to Read. So ladies and gentlemen, in your own time, you can go through. Very hearty welcome to Madam Amrita Burman, who comes from very holy place, Varanasi, Kashi ki jab hum baatcheet karte hain, so we roll to Varanasi. Ladies and gentlemen, thereafter, my second celebrity this evening, a very hearty welcome from the bottom of my heart is Dr. Sheetal Sharma. She's Assistant Professor, Center for European Studies at Jawaharlal Nehru University. Her research interest includes social and cultural issues in contemporary Europe and India. Madam Sharma avidly follows methodological trends in social sciences and international relations. She writes regularly on socially relevant issues in India and Europe for journals and magazines of national and international repute. She's also interested in and writes on issues relevant to education in India, particularly higher education. Her extensive work in research and education has felicitated her with many awards, nomination as a subject expert and membership by Ministry of HRD and other educational bodies in India and abroad. Very hearty welcome to my second celebrity, Dr. Sheetal this evening. And ladies and gentlemen, here is the third celebrity this evening with me, Dr. Nancy Juneja. She's the founder and director of REVUP Life Skills, Rev Up Life Skills, co-founder of MentorX Global. She's the one who co-founded MentorX with a global vision to bring mentor and mentees together to address long-standing needs and providing skill development and handholding for students, startups, partners, investors, financiers, SMEs, entrepreneurs, businesses, professionals, and corporate. Now, MentorX is in India, Australia, Mauritius, South Africa, Fiji, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Nepal, Vietnam, and Singapore. A highly acclaimed trainer with 10 years plus years of experience, an in-demand people transformation trainee, and leadership mentor with the knack of sensing audience needs and latest business priorities. She served the society with twin motive of providing skill development and research in rural and urban India and setting leadership modules for communities and individuals. Ladies and gentlemen, with these words, I draw and remove the curtains, and here gets the celebrities this evening. And I'm going to start this evening with Madam Amrita Burman. We start with ma'am, and she's going to address all of us this evening. Ma'am, kindly go ahead with your views, whatsoever you wish to share. 8 to 10 minutes you have got, and thereafter we will request Dr. Sheetal to take on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, first of all, Dr. Sharma. I think whatever you said in your slides were absolutely excellent and extremely relevant. Good evening, Namaskar, Jai Hind to everyone from all different places on the globe, to my co-panelists. I think the topic is extremely relevant. Making education relevant is probably the most relevant topic to be discussing today, because it was mentioned by Dr. Sharma that this is a time of complete disruption. And once there is disruption, I think we always start talking about education, because whatever has been learned comes to the acid test when there is a disruption. What did you learn in your school? What happened in the formative years? Is it working or no? And I think world over, the debate is, were we relevant? If we were not, what is it that we really need to do now in this time to see to it that if we've made mistakes in education before, we actually start thinking once again and rethinking of making our education today relevant for tomorrow. So I think it's a great topic to, in the first place, choose and talk about. Let me, first of all, start with the dictionary meaning of education. So the dictionary meaning of education is the act or process of imparting or acquiring general knowledge and developing the powers of reasoning and judgment, and generally of preparing oneself or others intellectually for a mature life. So this is there in every dictionary. It may be just a little here and there in different dictionaries. So what does it mean? It means that we're trying to give our children, and by the way, I represent school children, and therefore I'll be talking about education in the formative years for children. So basically, when we are talking about education in schools, it's what we are imparting to our children so that they're ready for a mature life. So when we say mature life, we obviously mean a life of tomorrow, and a tomorrow and a context that people have never really seen. And therefore, education, as usually people look at as content based, is irrelevant. Because if it was only content based, it really doesn't prepare us for tomorrow. Content today, and probably right now today, because of the kind of technology which is there in every house and in every drawing room, knowledge is available just about everywhere at the click of a mouse. So it's not about content. When we talk about knowledge, when we talk about reasoning, when we talk about judgment and preparation for tomorrow's life, it obviously means certain skills. It talks about competencies. In fact, Dr. Sharma spoke about a lot of competencies, and I'm going to throw light on the 6 global competencies. World over, people are talking about these competencies which have become most relevant today. They obviously include the 4 21st century skills, which is relevant. We have to talk about critical thinking, because problems are complex. And if problems are complex, you have to be thinking out of the box. You have to prepare your children for tomorrow to think for solutions which are out of the box, for which critical thinking is important. For that, collaboration is also very important, because unless and until different minds don't work together, you don't come to the right solution to a problem. You also have to have great communication, because if you want to collaborate with people, if you want to negotiate and come to solutions for problems tomorrow, well, in that case, you need to be able to communicate well. And of course, you have to have creativity. You have to be thinking differently, as I mentioned in the beginning, because problems are going to be complex. Now, these 4 skills have been discussed actually a number of times. So I'm not going to be laying too much of emphasis on that. 21st century skills is, often spoken about. This is a part of the 6 global competencies, but I want to also lay emphasis on 2 very important C's. One is citizenship. Now, when we talk about citizenship, it has to be a global citizenship. We have to talk and assume always that the whole globe is ours. We are citizens of the world. So if we are citizens of the world, We must understand that everything which is a problem to us, and we look for a solution for this problem, impacts the world. So if in schools, we don't talk about global problems, global solutions to problems, we don't really make our children ready for tomorrow, and therefore their education doesn't become relevant. Besides the global part, it's also the fact that there is a local aspect. Well, I was once in a conference and I had heard this gentleman speaking very interestingly about the fact that somewhere when we talk about the global aspect and the world is ours and we have to be the same, somewhere the local elements, the local context is also getting lost. So I need to think globally, but I also need to be preserving my local taste. I need to understand that my pride or my existence comes from where I stay. So if I'm staying in Varanasi, for example, it's very important to know the culture of the place. It's very important to spread this culture, to be proud about this culture, the language, the food, everything that belongs to the heritage of this place has also to be preserved. And therefore, that beautiful balance between the global and the local. If I want to make education relevant for children, they have to be proud of where they belong and their roots. And the other very important thing when we talk about global citizenship and the local citizenship is ecology. We have to understand that the globe has been handed over to us. I have inherited it. I have not bought it. It doesn't belong to me that I can just do whatever I want with it. I will be handing it over just the way it has been handed over to me. And if I want to make my children's education relevant tomorrow, they have to love the environment. They cannot just think, they cannot be selfish. मैं कर लूं, मेरे को मिल जाए, फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि आगे की generation को मिले ना मिले. He mentioned about water being a problem. We are also talking about the environment when it comes to the kind of pollution that's around. And one pandemic has taught us that when we respect the earth is healing today and is ready to give us back. So therefore, am I really concerned about the ecology if I am a citizen, that too a global citizen? The next very important C in global competencies is character. My education is irrelevant to me if I'm not a person of high values, if I do not have my ethics right. And I always tell my children when I speak to them, in case you have really had very good education and your values are wrong, you're probably the most dangerous in this world. Because if a person is uneducated, वो कितना damage कर लेगा, उसका तो दिमाग बेचारे का उतना ही चल रहा है, वो बहुत ज्यादा डैमेज शायद नहीं कर पाएगा. बट इफ यू आर एजुकेटेड, अगर आप चोरी करोगे तो बहुत सोच समझ के शायद करोगे, क्योंकि अपना सारा दिमाग जो अच्छे probably you're more damaging to the world. And therefore, as a teacher, if I want to make my children's education relevant more than anything else, I have to first concentrate on their character building, their values, to give to the world children who are emotionally very, very balanced, so that they spread happiness in the world. We need to be giving happy children to society at large. And when we as teachers who have made education relevant for children give emotionally balanced, high charactered, happy children to the world, these children will be respected and accepted by society with a lot of happiness. So once we have built on their happiness quotient and made education relevant for them, they're going to be spreading happiness around. So for me, these 6 global competencies are absolutely essential, much more than content, because once we teach them to learn for life and make them independent learners, they will learn for themselves. They will forget their algebra, they will forget their geography, but they will remember us as teachers if we have really built these competencies for them to learn for themselves. So this is what I wanted to say. I think this is probably the most important thing to make education relevant for tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amrita ji. So well knitted and so well mentioned, and in a shortest possible time, you've done a wonderful. My deep regards and thanks to you. And could I request now Dr. Sheetal from the Jawaharlal Nehru University to kindly share her thoughts, the relevance, and what all you would like to share. You got to unmute your mic, ma'am.
Done. Am I
Please
audible?
go. Yes, ma'am.
मेरा नमस्कार मेरे सभी मित्रों को और सभी पैनलिस्ट को और people who have joined this webinar from all the parts of the world. Namaskar in Hindi and hello to everyone, and respectively good evening, good afternoon and good morning to all of you. Now, I had a very different mindset before I started enjoying what was being said by, first of all, Dr. Gulshan Sharma and then Amrita ma'am. And now I've thought myself that I'll just twist my talk in a different fashion and talk about youth motivation and making education relevant for them. Now, I'll divide my talk into just 3 sections because I have been given only 15 minutes to talk. And in those 15 minutes, I'll be focusing upon that what is relevant for youth and how do we make the concept of relevant actually relevant and significant in their lives. Now, let me begin by saying that higher education in this world and at this point of time in history has become so important that it was never ever back in the history. And the thing is that knowledge has become a new oil. If I would say that some years back when you had oil, you were rich. Now, if you have knowledge, you are going to gain far more because wealth is not being created in factories these days or in industries or in shops, but wealth is being created by people, those who have this. Those who are applying their knowledge, those who are using their heads are making far more as compared to those who are using their hands. So the history of the world, if we have seen, did not move much for thousands of years together. If we look at European history or if we look at Indian history, although there were discrete civilizations which were doing far better than any other civilization now if we compare to. However, in totality, the sum total of all those advances and innovations were not as much as what we see today, only because knowledge has made a substantial change in the nature and pace of development which is happening in the last 100 years. Now, when I say higher education particularly and relevance of higher education, and I deal with students, those who are beyond post-graduation level, particularly MPhil and PhD. So we tend to treat with a kind of age group which is not just getting education but is also developing a kind of personality which is going to interact with people in future. So my task is not just to cover the syllabus, but my task is to carve an entire personality, the personality which is just going later on in future in the job market, in social realm, in professional realm, and is going to have a personal life as well. So how do I make education relevant for them? But first of all, before I make education relevant for them, I have to understand what is relevance. And relevance, by relevance, I mean usefulness, meaningfulness, relatedness, and appropriateness of what you do. That is the higher education package, which we have been understanding in our own sense in terms of having a curriculum, covering this curriculum, having a way of understanding this. But if it is at all needs to be relevant, and if we call it relevant, it has to be useful for you. Useful in what respect? Once again, that is application, the relatedness. Now, I find certain issues which are problematic in the sense that we don't see much of this, what we learn in our education system being relevant, and I compare it with other societies also during my talk. But then what and how do we bring out this relevance? In order to develop the relevant package of higher education, we have to look at a couple of W's. What are we teaching? Why are we teaching? To whom are we teaching? And how are we teaching? These are the 4 corners or 4 pillars on which we build our education system and tend to see that what am I teaching? Is it going to contribute or is it going to have some consequences on the life of the individual? Number 1. Number 2, that how am I going to teach? That is, what is my pedagogy? Am I focusing too much on theory? Am I focusing too much on books? Am I not able to explain a student? You have once again, Wilson sir was saying about the three idiots. And if the person was asked, give me an example of a machine, he uses a zip. He zips, unzips, zips, unzips. And he said, whatever makes your life simple and convenient is a machine. You don't necessarily have to be having a very fancy terminology, jargon in order to explain something that this is called as machine. No, absolutely not. Anything. I was thinking that even a hand pump in the era when we used to fetch water from the well with a bucket was a machine, and it helped people take out so much amount of water so quickly, and people were happy with it. So how do we do it? How do we understand that what is relevant for me and how is it going to impact my life? Now, one interesting thing that we note in our schools particularly, that there is a distinction between disciplines. And during the time of COVID, we have been having health issues, scientists deal with it. We have been having policy issues, politicians deal with it. We have been having social issues, social scientists deal with it. And we have been having behavioral issues as well, psychologists deal with it. But imagine for a while, and I take all of you back 20, 30 years to your school life. When we look at the discipline, there is a premium attached to sciences. And some of you agree that whenever we were in schools, we were said, okay, science is the discipline, science liya hai, to I sit with my, collars high in my office also. Parents ask you to become engineer banna hai, doctor banna hai. The other sciences or the other social sciences were seen as something which were not as fancy as premium attached package that you can consume. But times have changed. COVID has shown us that all the scientists across the spectrum, from sciences, hardcore sciences this side, to soft sciences that side, and even psychological sciences this side, everybody is in a race to fight the pandemic, and everybody has a different set of package to offer to you. This is the relevance of discipline. Number one, what we study, one. Number two, how we study. That is related to pedagogy. Now, when I talk about the usefulness and the pedagogy, we have to be interdisciplinary in nature. What do I mean by interdisciplinary? Once again, our education system is dividing all the subjects into watertight compartments, and we don't have interfaces or overlapping. Now, here I bring example from European universities, and particularly some of the very interesting courses which have been offered by some of the prestigious university. I taught at LSE for a while, and I have a list of courses, something like competitive strategy, regulation theory strategy, then real estate to economics and finance, negotiation programming. I have a long list of courses which are so interdisciplinary in nature that lie at interface of sometimes economics, finance, sociology, political science, and even scientific disciplines. So somewhere in our process in India, we tend to lack a kind of interface or interdisciplinarity, which is very important for the actual growth of knowledge as a system. And that is why sometimes we end up reproducing things which have already been stated, rather than something substantial or qualitatively coming out of our research and our investigations. Number three, how do you do it? The research methodology has to be emphasized a lot. Once again, in our school system, in our colleges, we have binaries, we have distinctions, and I'll come on to that later on. But the research methodology, how you do, how I know what I know. If in case this is a piece of iron and this is hot, how I know what I know. This is by touching, by knowing, by understanding phenomena of heating, or what. Our pedagogy of connecting to the concept has to be very clear, and this has to be imparted to students in the precise manner, no ambiguity about it. Thank God we are in Google era. Once again, I give you a typology. It's long gone, AD or BC. Now we are in an era before Google, BG, and after Google, we say AG. Now, what is the relevance of before Google and after Google? When I was a young child and I did not have access to Google and searching all these things, and I had never seen Qutub Minar in my life. So I had a very thick history book, and in that, Qutub Minar used to look like a wire mesh. Now things have changed. People can just search, have a 3D view of, and that's the beauty of after Google era, AG, in which we live. So let's make use of this AG and this technology which is available to us. Now, the third part is that when we teach how, we have to be continuously updating also to make it or keep it relevant for youth. Gone are the era in which you design a syllabus which is taught continuously for decades altogether and you don't have any change. Life is changing so quickly. Technology is changing. Every 6 months, the technology speed gets double and the prices are getting half. So we have to keep with that technological pace and transition. That is how we can only beat any other country whom we consider as a rival country. We have to grow economically. Our mantra of beating any of our neighbor is 10 plus GDP rather than any investment into our heavy weaponry or machinery. And that is what is required at this point of time. And when we say that, we are going to talk about how, if we fail to plan, it means that we are planning to fail definitely. And this is where I want to bring something very important, that the collaboration, somewhere just like disciplines, our universities, our faculties, our teachers are existing in watertight compartments, not connecting with each other. I do not know what's happening in other universities. Other university people do not know what's happening here. Sometimes students have their own problems, ma'am. We don't get to know about courses. We don't get to know about scholarship. There's a lack of exchange of information. The channels have to be made very smooth, very connected to each other, so that what happens in one university in India, let alone global level, I'm beginning with regional and national universities, gradually we can come at the global level. We have to connect to one another in order to harness the best potential of the existing talent that we have. Then the kind of students that I get at MPhil and PhD level, just like what I said, that they are not just learning a course or a structure or a syllabus. Here they are becoming a person who is going to sell his talent in the market in future. Now he has a personality, and every individual like you and me, we have 4 components of our personality, which are the fundamental pillars. The first one is my personal one, where I justify myself as Sheetal. What am I doing? How am I justifying my talents and my life? The second one is going to be my professional one, that what I earn as a skill set, I'm going to sell that as human capital in the world market. The third one is my familial responsibility, the part I am of. You can always forego the fruits, but you can never leave your roots. And this knowledge, technology, all these things are your fruits, and your roots are your family. You can never ever leave them. So you can forego your fruits, but never leave your roots. The family is the third pillar. And the fourth pillar is your societal responsibility, that as an individual, what am I contributing to my society, which has given me this belongingness and sense of identity. And among all these things, sometimes we find that our youth is very confused. What to do, how to do, even at the level of PhD, sometimes they even have given research questions and given conclusions. So why am I researching here? So what are these things? How can I bring a clarity of thought in the mind of people, those who are there, my subject matter, with whom I deal in everyday life? I give you one very interesting examples. As I was saying about Google age, AG and BG, similarly, we have 2 kinds of ages. One is my biological age and one is my social age. Now I take you 50 years back and just recall your mothers and your grandmothers. Their social age used to run faster than their biological ages. They were married at the age of 15 or maximum at the age of 18, and then they were wives, and then at a very young age, at a very middle age, they were grandmothers, and all their social age used to run faster than their biological lives. Then came a time where there was a kind of balance between social and biological age. And now we are entering an era where your social age is going to get delayed than your biological. And you have very good examples. If you have daughters in your family, all the doting fathers who are attending this conference, when your daughter is 18 or 19 and your grandmother sometimes say, or your mother says, is time mein to hamari shaadi hui hai, please don't talk about it, ye to bachchi hai. Look at the transition we have seen over past 40, 50 years. And this is advantage for the youth right now, that you don't have much of those pressures that the yester generations were facing of earning, of establishing themselves, or bringing a name, or raising a family. But yet they are crumbling. They are crumbling more under the pressure as compared to the previous generation. That means there is something wrong in terms of giving a message to become a strong individual here. Now, what is important for the youth? The age of 20 to 30, if I take a rough average, earlier it was 15 to 25, now I call it 20 to 30, and then some years later it can be 23 to 33, but this age or this decade of your life is the best decade, make or break decade of your life. In this decade, you enter as a teenager, enter as a child, and more often than not, at the age of 30, you exit with a child in your hand and with a family. So remember, these 10 years are the most crucial years of your life. So what do you do here? In these 10 years, make a list for yourself, and you will see all the major things will happen to you during these 10 years. And roughly, I don't have much time, otherwise I would have given you a list of 20 things that happen to you, including your interviews, your jobs, your higher degrees, your failures, your successes. Some jobs you leave, some jobs leave you, some girlfriends leave you, in some cases you leave boyfriend, and all those things, entire package. So on an average, my friends, you don't get even 6 months to cry or feel happy over anything. Brush off anything which makes you negative, feel overburdened, or even more than 6 months. 6 months is just the total time for every event that you have to feel happy or sorrow. But then come back, reduce this time, and make most of your time in terms of productive and substantial contribution that you can make to the society. Now, finally, coming towards the last part of my talk here, and this is what higher education at this level is not just about acquiring a degree, because degree is not a manifestation of your qualities. It is just something that is your introduction or your business card. But when you speak something, that actually shows whether you are educated or not. More often than not, we find many a times people are not fit for the job market. There's a gap between the skill set which is expected in the market and what we sell here. But my humble request to all the people, those who are part of the education system, that the more we sweat in the peacetime, the less we bleed during the wartime. And suddenly we were exposed to this kind of situation that we had never thought that there can be something called as online learning. But suddenly what has happened, that when we were faced in the lockdown, when we faced this crisis, there were knee-jerk reactions to bring people on board and somehow conduct the class and carry on with the business of education. What was it? Had we been prepared? Now, if something happens in future like this, God forbid, we are not going to be so ill prepared for it, and there will be no knee-jerk reactions. Now, the thing is that the more planning we spend time on, the better it is going to be for future. All my generation, what is the way forward? The way forward is that we are living in binaries. In India, we see a system where we have binaries between private school ka bachcha hai, public school ka bachcha hai, government school ka bachcha hai, bahut prestigious school ka bachcha hai, Hindi ka medium ka hai, English medium ka bachcha hai. There's a lot of difference in the way we tend to see science, non-science students. And even at the university level, from Jumri Talaya to non-existent regional universities, state universities to IITs and IIS, absolutely binary. यहाँ पे division रहता है. My humble submission to everyone is that in our individual capacities as practitioners of education, as stakeholders of education, careers of this noble profession on our shoulders, and also shapers or carvers of destiny of large number of people, please try to be as substantial, qualitative, and open in your ideas and thought as much as possible. I know we cannot change the entire world or influence large number of people at the same time, but in whatever limited capacity अगर मैं दिया हूँ, तो at least मैं एक कमरे को रोशन कर सकती हूँ. यही अगर मेरी उद्देश्य रहेगा. टीचिंग इज द मोस्ट नोबल प्रोफेशन. हमें इसको वो रिगार्ड देना चाहिए जो वर्ल्ड में, यूरोप में टीचिंग को मिलता है, बट हमारे यहाँ समाव कोई और काम नहीं मिला, जैसे गुलशन सर कह रहे थे, तो हम शायद समझते हैं कि टीचर बन गया, बट नहीं. एक टीचर की वो एनर्जी होती है. We saw a slide in Vivekananda where it was said that all power lies within me, and if I want, I can have everything. एक टीचर में वो एनर्जी होती है which get multiplied by 60 or 30 as many as students sitting in a class. If I go to the classroom, well, students, today we are going to, everybody will be silent. But if I go with energy, enthusiasm, this enthusiasm gets multiplied by 60, and look at the vibrance of that room. The outcome is going to be visible on their faces, on their confidence, on their lives, and on society later on. So I request all of you those who are into the profession of teaching, please use your position with so much of responsibility, with so much of energy, enthusiasm, as if you are dancing on the dance floor, and tell you, please challenge everybody and be the best teacher. Let the best come out of you. Thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you, Dr. Sheetal. Thank you very much. And particularly, your last point, aapne kaha na ki use your position, I would say, in the most responsible way. That was the climax what you have given. And वो पांचों question आपके बहुत अच्छे हैं. चार हैं. Why are we teaching? What are we teaching? Whom are we teaching? And how are we teaching? All four are so relevant. And of course, knowledge, relevance, and then research methodology also, which you discussed. So ladies and gentlemen, we moved from the school education to the higher education. And let me now just put stage on the fire. And let me get Dr. Nancy Juneja, because I heard so much from Dr. Shankar Goenka about her, and she has traveled a lot. I'm pretty sure that she must have traveled her own expenses, not the countries inviting her and paying for her. Like I have done it like a true Punjabi. I traveled almost half the world, but I did not pay a single rupee. I told them, you're calling me, you're inviting me. You got to pay for me if you want to get me. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me get my third distinguished guest, Dr. Nancy Juneja.
Indeed humble, sir. Indeed humble from your grateful introduction. As I see all the esteemed panelists in front of me, I feel really small in front of you. But
आप पहले नहीं आए. आपका जो main detailed introduction है, वो हमने पहले कर दिया.
No, I was there. I heard that.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Indeed humbled for that. I'll say, behind every successful endeavor in the world, there's a tribe of game changers. There's a tribe of successful people. There's a tribe of, the thought-provoking people right there, like the four panelists here, like the people who are organizers, esteemed organizers here, and who have made this possible. And this is only possible when there's a tribe of educationists, when there is a mind which focus upon how to evolve this whole education system. I am deeply grateful to International Chamber of Service Industry for curating this platform, the global confluence of educators and motivators, getting us all together. It takes a zeal to get us all together and for massive contribution. Hearing all these esteemed speakers, and especially starting from Dr. Gulshan, Ms. Amrita, and Dr. Sheetal, I am being an avid learner. I've been an avid learner throughout my life, and today I learned so much from all of you. Sharing about myself, I'll say whatever age I am, I've spent the entire age in my education as a student or as a mentor. My inner conditioning is from a family who run education institutions in India. A school, a CBSE school, to the B.Ed Institute, to a B school, MBA school. We are all into everybody. But then, handling the school was different. I was blessed to see the golden triangle of education at an early age. I was talking to the teachers, I was talking to the students, as well I was talking to the parents, the pillar of education. So when we talk about education here, not a big saying, I'll not be using probably the thoughts or the proverbs, but I'll be speaking from a mother point of view, biologically of two children, as an educationist, as an entrepreneur. My dream for education system, as I've seen all the reforms throughout, is that the child gets up, excited, jumping out of bed, that I need to go to the school. My dream of education is when excellence is far beyond the report cards, and excellence is just appreciating the child for any creative deed he has done. My dream of education is to prepare them, not to be just job ready, but has to be life ready. As the topic of today is making education relevant, we have discussed a lot. And it is unending discussion on education, because education is the only poised profession in the whole world, the only dignified. Many will come and go. IT, science, technology, many will come and go. Artificial intelligence, but this education is here to be. salute to all the educationists who are, definitely the survivors, not just, making the other people winners. They are the real warriors. They are the real warriors. And this simple dream of education can be fulfilled only when we all work in collaboration. As we said, this golden triangle is very important. When we talk about the teacher, the major responsibility lies upon the shoulders of our esteemed teachers. The question is, education, the E here is all about the 3 E's: empower, elevate, evolve. Each moment, as we discussed upon the questions to be asked an educator, I'll say we have to discuss to ourselves and we have to tell, am I empowering the younger generation? Am I elevating them in some sense? Are they being evolved by what education I'm imparting them? If yes, I am on my journey of education. And if not, I need to really alter the way of education according to the changing times. The fact of today norm is, whether we call it blended learning, hybrid learning, the shift from classroom to classroom, whatever name and slang we use. In today's world, we have learned a lot. We have learned a lot that beyond number game, the life skills is the major important stake in the child's overall growth. If we really want them to have the difference between being human and human being, which is a thin line, the life skills is important, which will help them in the departing line. And it is so important that a teacher is not the one who teaches subjects nowadays. A teacher is the one who's empowering, elevating, and evolving, nurturing that blooming bud to that blossoming flower. Be it a kindergarten, be it a middle level, be it a senior level, everybody wants that push. Everybody wants that one motivator. I ask all of the people, esteemed people from India and overall, all across the world, just remember, there will be one teacher in your career, in your entire path that you owe your success to, that you remember that, oh my God, she was a wonderful teacher. That wonderful educator, we need to be in ourselves. How about the student remembers each of his teachers and be gratitude to them? And that is possible only, as my esteemed panelist said, when the teacher is in high spirits, when they are, pushing the boundaries, when they're walking an extra mile in education leadership. To make it as simple as possible, as I said, there's a dream is just as simple as possible. The children to have that 5 C's, jumping out of bed, ready to the school, be curious, be confident, be creative. They need to be compassionate and they need to be critical thinker. If I say the jargons, yes, according to UNESCO, according to WHO, these are the 21st century life skills. But believe me, in my age, I was not taught life skills. If I see my grandpa, if I see my father, they were not taught life skills because life skills is not a domain area or a subject to be taught to the child. It is the inner conditioning. It is the values. It is the heritage that they're getting, born up in a cultural country like ours. The holistic education. Though, yes, in 21st century, we have name for everything. Be it soft skills, be it personality grooming, be it education, whatever name we say. But deep regard to the education system, it is the values which sets apart a person from being human and human being. And this is what will help them to move across. This is what will help them to move across. In today's world, I am least concerned about my child is getting a A1 or not, or going to inter-school competition. There is no competition between the other parents and all. Sooner, the whole scenario of education is changed. In this new norm, I'm just concerned that my child gets the education from our educators. I am all the more, deep respect, not just the education fraternity I belong to, even to each and every teacher who is contributing so much in the success of the child. And I must say, this is the time when I've seen the students are respecting the educators so much, be it from school, university. They are actually, getting deep respect for them. This is the time when we are seeing the parents respecting the educators so much. So they all are working in collaboration. This is the dream we saw years ago also, which is happening right now. Maybe it is divine's calling to tell us That's yes, all the three part and parcel of education, be it student, be it educator, be it parent, you need to work together to nurture the soul. And I'll just say, it is just three simple ideas to bring globalization, going local, as we say, globalization and world-class teaching into the students. And these three ideas are so simple. Just starting with the words. When the child is born, we tell them the words to speak. The thoughts just come across and it turns into action. And definitely, when we focus upon this words, thoughts, action, the human being, the child that we're nurturing, is responsible already of their deeds. As rightly said in the opening by Dr. Gulshan Sharma, this is the need of the hour. We need to ask ourselves, what are we doing? Why are we doing? For whom are we doing? And it is very, very important to integrate these 21st century skills and to bridge the gap. Somehow we have inculcated, I'll not say any educator or a mother or any woman, if I see myself also, we have, put them in a thinking box. You will miss the bus if you will not score. You will miss the bus if your peer is getting into inter-school competition. You might miss the bus if you don't get into this foreign university admission. What is missing the bus? Why are we feeding this in the child from the beginning? What is this missing the bus? Now, today's time has told even the smaller, the student, to the adults, to each one, that we cannot do anything. If we miss the bus also, we need to see the option A, we need to see the option B. If doesn't work, we need to be ready with the option C. And we are doing it all. Somehow I'm loving the competitiveness in the entire environment. Things were already dynamic. But now we are taking the action according to the changing times. But now we are embracing to this change. And this embracing to the change is education. Education was never teaching the subject and just passing a grade one level to the another. Education is to make them ready for the living. No matter what, whatever they're practicing today, be it problem solving, be it decision making, be it critical thinking, everything they will count, in the life ahead. I must say that imagination is more important than knowledge. There is a difference between, getting knowledge and applying knowledge. And education has to bridge this gap. We all give knowledge. We all have acquired knowledge. But there's always a difference between the cream of society that we talk to or we have labeled for. And these are the action takers. So the whole scenario of education somehow, I feel, should be going back. B2B, I just love that. Back to basics. For me, back to basic is that 0 to 5 years, sir, formative years. Let's get back to basics. When the child was told to imagine, when the child was told to create, when the child was told to express. If we do these things right now, we have just win it. If we know how to imagine, how to express, and how to not just observe the knowledge, but to impart to the world outside and to make others feel that this is the power of knowledge, we are in a winning situation. Imagination, creativity can change the whole world, can change the whole scenario. And whatever limitations, whatever problems we have been talking and people are making stories about the new norm, whatever will happen in the future, trust me, these limitations are just here. If I tell my child, if I see my child, or if I see the students of my school and universities, they're the most happy in today's world. Somehow I feel they are doing everything to raise that bar. The online education, the online certifications. Biggest of the universities nowadays have, given away. The educators, the torch bearers of society have come up as a good community. The example of this is, what ICSI is doing here. A proper community, making community. Gone are the times I talk about Delhi, India. Now we are talking and the whole world is sailing in the same boat. We are one community of the educators. And we salute that we all have come together as the torch bearers. Rather, in this time, particularly, I feel there's the enough responsibility on our shoulders, and we should pat on our back for this. That yes, we are doing it all. We are doing it all. The appreciation that we are deserving, the same we give to the parents and the students who are attached to us. And I'll just say, we need to make the child believe that the world is a canvas. Paint whatever. Life is not so serious to be taken as we are taking. Paint whatever, create whatever. But just create, just learn. Have that curiosity in yourself. Don't let that excitement fade away. Don't let that spark fade away that we had in the initial days, and the responsibilities again to the teachers and the parents. My final word for each one here. For all the golden triangle that I mentioned here, the teachers, the educators, and the student and the parents. You know what? The students need to know clearly about their vision, about their mission, and about their values. They don't have to just know about their 5-6 subjects books in their book. Not at all. They don't have to know that what will happen. Some parents are bothering already that this year will be a 0 year in our children's progress. Not at all. Rather, I feel this year will set a benchmark for your children foundation for the life ahead. This year will set a benchmark, not just for the students, for the teachers, for me, myself, everyone out there, that the life lessons that I've got in this period, I never got from any spiritual discourse. I have done from entire the globe, traveling across the globe. So yes, I'll say for teachers, we need to push boundaries. Definitely, we are the torch bearers of society. We are proud to call as the torch bearers. And this is our time. We need to show that the community power is right here. The mission is right here. We are definitely there for each other. And the students should have a clear framework of the vision, mission, and the values. They should know their 5 C's. They should know their 3 E's. They should know the key of growth. The chabi, जो हम कहते हैं हिंदी में, key of growth. Keep empowering yourself. Keep empowering yourself. The children, the students, the adults, everyone out there. And for the parents, we need to understand their perspective. They've created the whole school atmosphere in their home, and hats off to them, who are doing a dual job along with teachers and students. I feel the parents are the amazing people who are, joining the education movement today. Today, education is a moment which will be having a winning story. We'll be creating success stories, and definitely with community like this, platform like this, with the World Skills Day celebrated on 15 July, I feel it is indominant that each one will be, seeing a trendsetter in society. Thank you so much. It'll really a humbling experience to interact here. And I'll just say it's a lot to learn, lot to share. Let's be there. Let's create, imagine, and explore with each other. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nancy. As I mentioned initially, like the doctors, nurses, and paramedical, they all are the warriors. They're in white clothes sent by the God to take care of the humanity. Similar way, the entire education fraternity, whether you're a vice chancellor, you're a director, you're a principal, you're the owner, you're the chancellor, you are wherever you're educated, you're technocrat, you're giving the backup push to this particular program to come live globally. Each one of us is a warrior. And now let me just share one final thought with all of you. Education system. Let's take an example. When you just imagine what is school and what is classroom. The classroom is, teacher is an actor. The classroom is a theater. The students are the audience. Teacher is a performer. How well you perform, how natural you perform, it would depend upon how much you are really passionate about your role. That is the most important thing. And more and more, I'm studying because I'm unwinding, winding, learning, relearning, and so much I'm getting a time to know. In last 12 years, I've devoted a lot of time. I'm planning and I'm working out and coming out with a book which is going to be dedicated to music therapy in education. What is the role of music? Any teacher who doesn't enjoy music, either who doesn't sing, who doesn't listen, who doesn't enjoy, that teacher can never be empathetic. That teacher can never ever carry an empathy for any child. You got to have that emotions. That part is very important. And for that matter, whether you sing or not, whether you sing in bathroom or you sing in kitchen or you sing elsewhere, start enjoying the music. If your life is musical, the world will be musical. When the world will be musical, the world will be a better place and there'll be more peace to live over here. So, ladies and gentlemen, as an Indian, when my brothers and sisters have joined from the whole very important. We all have to understand music plays very important role, very, very important role. And when I say music, let me finish today's webinar while saying, है प्रीत जहां की रीत सदा, है प्रीत जहां की रीत सदा, मैं गीत वहां के गाता हूँ, भारत का रहने वाला हूँ, भारत की बात सुनाता हूँ. All of us from the world over, whosoever joined us today, our deep gratitudes and thanks to you from the world over. Ladies and gentlemen, more and more, more and more. Today I wanted to bring one another song for you, but maybe for tomorrow. 1964, there was a movie which was called Sant Gyaneshwar. Some of the kids were not born even at that point of time. Jyot se jyot jagate chalo, Gyan ki Ganga bahate chalo. That was the song by Lakshmikant Pyarelal. So all of us, you got to make your life musical. You got to enjoy music. Music therapy as a lubricant has to come into the education system. If you want to empower education system, you got to be happy. First of all, every teacher got to be happy. And when you are going to be happy, things are going to be wonderful. My deep thanks and gratitudes to all of you, and particularly my three celebrities this evening, Dr. Sheetal, Madam Amrita, Dr. Nancy. Thanks for joining us. Wish you all a great day ahead in Canada, USA, America, Latin America, and go for your evening coffee and tea in Europe. And of course, in India, go for your dinner. And people, those are in ASEAN, we permit you now to go for the sleep from all the countries. And people, those are in Australia, and those are in Fiji, those are in New Zealand, dream about us and dream about empowering education. That is the way the global family has to take care of. Thank you very much for joining. Thanks a lot. And green morning, green afternoon, and green evening. That's what I learned yesterday. My deep thanks to Dr. Karunanidhi also, our Secretary General, joining us all the way from Canada. I'm so grateful to you. My president from Thailand, Dato Ramesh ji from Malaysia, and our Majumdar president from Cambodia, Naresh ji from Myanmar, and Geeta ma'am from Bahrain, Rajneesh ji from Bahrain, and Karan Singh Thakral ji from Singapore. I'm grateful to all of you. And of course, Pratap ji from Peru and Argentina. I'm grateful to all of you. You're wonderful human being. Education is going to empower the entire world. Thanks a lot. Namaskar, Namaste, and from Indian Army, Jai Hind, Jai Hind, Jai Hind. That's the way we go ahead. Thank you. Thank you for joining.